Have you tried booking a flight recently? I have, and I have to say, it hurts the bank. Canadian airports have some of the highest landing fees in the world, and altogether airport fees can be up to 200% higher than at US airports. These high fees can be felt on ticket prices both directly and indirectly as they discourage Canadian airlines from competing more aggressively for domestic routes. And so we are often stuck with a simple choice, either Air Canada or WestJet for all our domestic routes. We don't even have any low-cost airlines currently operating in Canada. But I have some good news. Conservative Party leadership candidate Maxime Bernier has a plan. He announced today that he would be opening up the skies and providing a regulatory framework that will allow for more competition and choices in the Canadian airline industry. Bernier outlined many of the problems causing high costs of air travel for Canadians and some solutions. First, removing excess taxes. Then, privatizing our 26 major airports, encouraging foreign investment, and finally, creating more competition. This should be welcome news for all Canadians. Currently, there is a limit of 25% foreign ownership of Canadian airlines. By raising the foreign ownership limits to 49%, as the industry is asking, it would aid in getting American and European investors into a low-cost airline operating in Canada. But Bernier actually wants to go further than that. He wants to go all the way up to 100% foreign ownership, much like they have in Australia and New Zealand. Bernier also wants Canada to seek out more bilateral agreements with other countries to open up more flight routes, increasing the number of flights to Canadian cities from foreign destinations, thus creating more choice and hopefully lower prices for Canadians. Our Brian Lilly was at the announcement today and was able to ask Bernier specifically about his plan to privatize the 26 major airports.
The airports paid up to now, since 1992, $5 billion. So it's a lot of money. It's more than the cost of the asset. So to do the privatization, it won't be to receive more money from the airport. It will be for having a competitive industry.
Bernier also explained how he hopes his plan will help solve the problem of Canadians crossing the border to fly at lower prices from US cities.
This model, it is not working when the Pearson Airport is the fourth highest airport to land in. There's a problem there. When 5 million of Canadians are crossing the border to take a plane in the US because the cost is up to 30% less, there's a problem there. So the air transport industry has been seen by the government of Canada as a way to have more money in the global budget, in the budget of the government. So I think it's a time to end that.
Bernier's plan is now an official platform policy of the Conservative Party after being added in May during the convention. And it was the Vancouver Centre Conservative Association that put forward this idea. So even in a steadfast Liberal riding like Vancouver Centre, Conservatives can still have significant influence in their party. But beyond more choices and lower fares, will Bernier's plan help in other ways? I say yes, absolutely. The free market always helps everyone. I can see this helping airline entrepreneurs, the disabled, people with pets, loyalty card collectors, tourism, individual and business consumers, and maybe even international trade. But that's where my optimism ends. We heard Bernier state that the 26 airports currently operate as a cash cow for the federal government, bringing in money for government spending. And I don't actually see any government ever saying no to this kind of money. So I really hope that if Maxime Bernier should become Prime Minister, he'll stick to his promise. For the Rebel.media, I'm Christopher Wilson.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.